to my channel. Today's video is going to be all about the lovely Too Faced PB&J palette. For those of you who don't know anything about this palette, you have seriously fallen off the makeup bandwagon or are literally just coming right in. Either way, today is going to be a great day to talk about the PB&J palette, as I am wearing the PB&J palette and I have already gotten to work with it for about 2 to 4 weeks. Now, I initially wanted to do a first impressions of this palette, including a first impressions review tutorial. However, I filmed that video when I was still in Alabama and unfortunately left out a very important scene to me in the creation of the tutorial. And so today that's not going to be the case, which is a great thing. So I figured just wait till I get to California, get a little bit better lighting. I'm still going to play around and work with this because this is my very first time filming in this room and filming in this house in general. Okay, so Too Faced Peanut Butter and Jelly palette is inspired by social media sensation. That is the peanut butter originally coming in the Too Faced Semi-Sweet Chocolate Bar palette. So basically this gorgeous, very highly praised peanut butter shade inspired this whole palette, and I really think Too Faced should carry on with that. And I think if there's any shades in this palette, any shades in Bonbons, or even if there's any shades in Sweet Peach, I really feel like they should run with it to create a whole other host of colors, because who doesn't love the awesome blockbuster hits? And even in saying that, I feel like if people really love the color jelly or jammin', they should be making like an eyeliner and a lipstick. They should just go ahead and do the full thing and really kind of coin and phrase their brand, so to speak. Now, I am wearing Too Faced Peanut Butter and Jelly shades, pretty much all the neutral and transition colors you could possibly want within any palette that are really warm, rich, and creamy and buttery. So let's just get down to the nitty-gritty on these swatches. Bear with me if they aren't the greatest. I know that these lights I've never really worked with before, like literally, so this may not be the best in terms of color, but I hope it will be a lot better. So the very first shade in this palette is Spread the Love, and it is kind of reminiscent of the Urban Decay's ABC Gum, or even a certain Inglot color that I used to use a lot of. This one has a lot of high shimmer. Unlike Urban Decay's ABC Gum, you can see that high shimmer in there. It's on my eyelid, and it's also in my crease as the main transition color. So it's got a lot of workability. This could even be a highlight color for people with darker skin tones. If you really take the time to blend it out, you can work off the shimmer if you want a more matte highlight for a deeper skin tone. Now, the next color in this shade is Bananas, and I absolutely love this color because it is a high shine, high shimmer gold. It does have a really nice, soft, warm base, and the more you work with it, the more you take off that first layer of, like, I don't know, like coating or whatever they tend to put on palettes to get them really pressed. Either that or you're just kind of shifting the product. But now that I worked with it a few times, it's more blendable, more creamy. You could use this as a lid color or even an inner corner color. You could probably use this as a cheek highlighter too, depending on your skin tone. I just really love it because it's a really unique gold that you don't see a lot of. I like that it's soft and delicate because, like I said, it's got a lot of wiggle room. You can play with it a lot. I'm not wearing this color today, but it is one of my favorite colors in the palette. The original look I did, I put a lot of time and effort into it, but I forgot to press record through some of it. But I'll probably have to go back and do that look using Bananas because I absolutely love Bananas. The next color in this palette is Extra Creamy, and this extra creamy, nice, soft, kind of an off-white, if you will. I really don't like the word off-white, but I really love the word off-black. So imagine off-white in its purest form. This is a very soft, almost translucent white that still has some color to it. You know how translucent or setting powders are not exactly translucent? Well, to me, this is kind of in the middle of translucent and white. So I think it's just right. And that's how it looks in a full heavy swatch. But like I said, in practice, it's a lot nicer in my opinion. Now, I am Too Faced Born This Way Porcelain, and I'm also Anastasia Beverly Hills Concealer shade 0.5. So don't take my word for it. Obviously, if you have darker skin, it's going to look a lot more vibrant. But for those of us gals who are pale to medium, we're definitely going to be able to work with it and make it translucent and not frosty. The next shade in this palette is Peanut Butter, and this shade is in my crease, and it is just such a nice, soft, sweet matte color. It is warm, and that's actually what I love about it. I love a warm matte color because it works beautifully with offbeat color shades. It adds some character to the look. It takes the harshness out of the look. It makes the look approachable. And while I do personally feel that edgy looks, colorful looks, and fun looks do have an approachability because they are so out of the box and show a lot of character, to some people they may not be approachable. To some people they might be very full and heavy. Peanut Butter is definitely a shade that deserved its own palette. It's just such a beautiful warm shade. MAC makes one called Saddle that's been popular for years. So if you've been a fan of a shade like that in the past, Saddle, soft brown, maybe even Kid, I think you'll like this palette. Now this whole palette's a lot more warm than MAC Kid, but if you're a huge fan of classics, this is a palette for you. The next shade in this palette is Peanut Brittle, and it is a frosty, sort of a terracotta brown right here. It almost reminds me of MAC's Coppering, or actually terracotta copper. I don't quite know exactly where I'm going with that, but it's rustic and red brown and has a lot of high shimmer. So you can turn this sort of rustic red brown into a beautiful smoky look, or you can turn it into a very soft, sweet, angelic look by just blending a little bit of this into the outer corner and even putting a rich dark or a rich black in the outer corner and doing like a fun cat eye with just an accent of copper. Now the next color in this collection is Jelly, and I have yet to personally work with Jelly. My first impression of playing with Jelly is that it's a nice sort of soft, velvety, high shine color. It's very much a warm purple. So again, very warm in this palette. We're not jumping from a rich, warm, you know, brown to all of a sudden this cool purple that they're trying to offset. Lots of fun. The next shade in this palette is Peanut Butter Cup, and I don't know if I would have personally named it Peanut Butter Cup, because when I think of peanut butter cups I think of sort of like a really almost rich peanut butter, or sorry, a really rich milk chocolate shell with the peanut butter in the middle, but they kind of combined both worlds. That nice sweet dance on your tongue is the shimmer, and that makes sense to some people. That's kind of like how chocolate and peanut butter look mixed together, so I guess it makes sense, right? So this is the slightly cooler tone in this palette, and it's just a nice warmy, shimmering, fun color. Lots of fun. I like that color a lot. Jammin' is a really fun color in this palette as well. To me, it's a richer, more reddened violet variation of MAC's Beauty Marked, and it's got a lot of nice shimmer and sparkle, but I do believe Too Faced has started kicking it up a notch when it comes to their frosts, their shines, and their velvets. Not only do you see that sparkle in there, they're blendable, they have a good base tone to them, so you're getting color, you're getting shimmer, but you're also getting flexibility. You can pack these on for smoky eye look, you can blend these out through the crease for, you know, a more transient smoky eye look. The next color in this palette after Jammin' would be Nuts About You, and it is an even more richer red and brown than, well, peanut butter. This color sort of reminds me of MAC Orange Red, or even MAC Chocolate Swiss, but it's much more mattine. It's got a lot more red brown in it. It's very orangey. It's actually in the very deep outer corner of my eye. So if you're already going to go with that warm look where I've got, you know, that gorgeous Spread the Love on the lid, and then peanut butter, and then Nuts About You, this is just one of those looks where you really want to go for the peaches and the riches. And I feel like this season we're really big on the peaches and the rich warm browns, because we had the peanut butter jelly palette come out, we had the peach palette come out, and so we're kind of slipping slightly away from those warmer toned or even cooler toned, sorry, browns that were in the chocolate palettes. I highly recommend this palette if you're looking for something to try from Too Faced. If you have not tried anything from Too Faced in a while and you purchased their palettes years ago, I think you'll be highly impressed with this particular tin. I think it's a fun direction to go with their tins. I think their tins have always been great. Their tins have always contained colors, and their tins have always contained basics, and none of their tins have really been completely offbeat, except for they had that one romantic palette that was a little offbeat, but they've always had colors that work like well together. It's a really thought out process with their marketing and design team. So really cool stuff, and I hope to be purchasing more from Too Faced this year. I really do, and I think I will. So yeah, anyways, I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you for watching this one. Enjoy the tutorial for sure, and I will talk all about my move and basically why I'm back in California and all that in another video because it doesn't belong in this fun little one. I'll see you guys later. Bye! The Peanut Butter palette is a spin-off of the Semi-Sweet palette. Peanut Butter is a gorgeous matte shade that also hosts a whole palette of matte and shimmer shades inspired by this beautiful peanut butter shade. It contains antioxidant-rich peanut butter with a creamy peanut buttery twist. It also includes a signature glamour guide with 3 looks to help get you started in glamorous. First off, we're taking the Anastasia Beverly Hills Cream Concealer in 0.5 and concealing the brow hairs. This is the exact shape I want, but in order to make my Anastasia Beverly Hills DipBrow Gel in Auburn set very nicely and not come off, I prefer to use some sort of a base, and that would be concealer. Concealer is the oldest form of a shadow base one could possibly be using, and it works quite nicely and is usually isocodocane-free or silicone-free. Auburn's also a really nice shade if you're a rich, toned, warm brunette or a violet-haired person like me. I'm taking my CoQ10 Cure Organics toner and applying that along with my serum, which is an anti-aging serum. Girls 31, gotta take care of my skin. And applying my cream concealer in 0.5 to the eyelids, the, once again, oldest form of a shadow base. Very thick, rich, and creamy and helps those shadows pop. Taking my peanut butter jelly palette and my Sedona Lace brush, we're going to apply this beautiful creamy white color just under the arch of the brow bone. Absolutely love this color because it's translucent, matte, and white, as I stated in my review, but in case you skipped ahead, it's a very nice, soft, subtle matte color that blends nicely into your transition, and it is called Extra Creamy. Now taking Spread the Love, this is going to be my transition shade, and this is a nice light peachy color that's going to help bridge us into the gap of slightly darker tones. I usually like to go light and work my way into dark. Now some people like to start with the dark and work their way into light, to each their very own. Taking Peanut Butter, which is the creme de la creme of this palette, the reason for this palette, and is the spin-off from Semi-Sweet, we're going to put that through the crease. So go on and blend that straight through. Take it easy. This is an angled brush, or you could always take a fluffy blender brush. Angled brushes are usually found in a beginner's kit. Now taking Nuts About You, we're going to put that in the very deep outer corner of the eye. This, of course, is completely purely optional depending on how light or dark you like your look, or depending on your skin tone, your hair color, and your eye color. I'm going to go a little bit darker because my hair tone is very rich compared to my skin tone, and it kind of just balances me out. Taking a little bit of Spread the Love, which is course, the creme de la creme of the base or transition colors in this palette. It's kind of a fun, versatile one you can use as a transition, highlight, or all over lid color, depending on your skin tone. I'm going to be taking a little bit of winged eyeliner now and just kind of flipping it up into a fun cat eye slash very, updated pinup eye. It's got a little too much color to be a classic pinup look, but we're basically going to kind of give it that idea. It's a little bit of a throwback, and it gives the look more character since it's so simple. Taking the Too Faced Born This Way in the shade Porcelain and applying that with my Real Techniques Beauty Blender. Absolutely love this beauty blender, but people who do use the beauty blender prefer the beauty blender. Taking the Anastasia Beverly Hills 0.5 Cream Concealer, which is very thick, which is actually why I chose it. Actually, I decided not to get the Kat Von D Locket because of the mixed reviews, and this was just so brand new and so rich and creamy. I love the consistency. I just was like, you know what? We're going to go for it. And I don't have any regrets. It doesn't have the most coverage, but I have no regrets. Taking a little bit now of my powder, my Hourglass powder, which is Diffused Light, and of course my Wet n Wild Contour Kit. And we're going to pack that matte color over the Diffused Light from Hourglass, and we'll create a really nice sateen, diffused ethereal glow. It won't be too high shine, too high shimmery, or too light. Taking the contour shade from that same palette, and we're just going to lightly chisel the bones of the cheeks. I have very strong cheekbones, so I don't need to go too heavy. Taking the Wet n Wild Catwalk pink palette, and we're going to be highlighting using various shades of the highlighters, bronzers, and blushes in different ways, depending on your skin tone. Now I am taking the pink one for myself, because that works with my skin tone. Taking that terracotta color for my blush. that works best with my skin tone. Take whatever you feel is necessary. If you have really pale skin, I would take a little touch of the gold and the terracotta. Taking my Prestige eyeliner in a nice deep brown, and of course my Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara in the original formula to plump up those lashes. Make them sexy, pretty, and a whole lot of fun. Lashes are just like the basis of every perfect, undescribably perfect eye look. Next up, we're going to be doing the lips. And as you can see, I already have them filled in because I had to really, film this in 2 parts. But I'm taking my Prestige lip liner, which I will list in the bottom bar, along with my Too Faced Melted Chihuahua, which is one of my favorite typical colors. A lot of people view this as a dark shade, but it's really quite light, especially without lip liner. And of course, my Pacifica Lip Gloss in Beach Kid. It's different, yeah, it's different. It's very purple and it's very different. Oh my god.